your coaches tell you never be satisfied. So you have that mentality until you can sit back and take yourself out of that situation in that moment and realize this is the gates, this is the doors. Is nothing that anyone can take away from me from that.
Alcohol, right.
So last but not least, I just wanted to touch base on a few various concepts that kind of stood out with Jalen Brunson being out that would translate into this year's playoffs. A lot of rotational players got quite a few reps and opportunities that they normally wouldn't get. Guys like Precious Achiuwa and Mitchell Robinson, we'll check them out in a few spots. Also, Josh Hart and Mikal Bridges kind of building a nice little, I would say, nice little chemistry with the pick and roll. We'll touch base on a few of these concepts very lightly, as Mitch, he's been out for quite some time, and just his situational awareness on plays like this as a roller, his decision making is going to be very, very keen, because we know he doesn't necessarily have a bag to put the ball on the floor and just has a nice little touch around the paint area, but his decision making right here is going to be very, very pivotal going into this year's playoffs. Here's Mitch right here involving a pick and roll with Bridges. He feels his defender is sort of hedging, so he's going to go screen this and quickly roll out. And then right here, what is his decision making at this point? It's 4-on-3. What does he do? Does he put the ball on the ground and attack the hoop? Or does he make the proper pass, the proper reads? This is what we have to watch out with Mitch. He's been out so long, we haven't seen him in this exact role getting a lot of reps. But we know it's coming, because eventually this is going to be Brunson right here. He's going to be throwing off these high screens. And when they blitz Brunson, Mitch is going to roll and be in the exact same situation. So what does he do? And right here, he passes out of the advantage. It was 4-3, and the Knicks are out of that advantage now. The same thing would apply here for Precious Achiuwa. How does he operate out of the nail, out of this high post area? What is he going to do? Could he put the ball down and attack? Or is he going to make the proper reads with all the cutters that we have? Precious has shown this season that he can make the right passes. If the Knicks could somehow take Precious ball handling out of that high post area and mix it in with Mitch, they will have their perfect center. Just Mitch's size with Precious ball handling and his finishing ability around the rim. That'll be perfect. But Robinson has been out for so long, we don't talk too much about what is his next evolution, which is really going to be the role that Isaiah Hartenstein has played with the Knicks, knowing what kind of screens to set, keeping his basketball IQ really on point, just reading the floor. As Mitch right here, at first it's looking like it's going to be a typical dribble handoff, but Mitch is beginning to read the floor a little bit better. We just haven't seen him in this role too much, and he's been out for too damn long. Here's some more Mitchell Robinson. Keep in mind, Brunson is out. And right here, if he could just take a dribble, step up, apply more pressure on this defense. But it's 4-on-3 right here. You see, in the playoffs, when you fighting for every inch, this is going to matter. Another interesting thing that kind of played out was a dynamic between Mikal and Josh Hart. Whether it be pick and roll or just Josh Hart acting like he's going to do a screen, a little cross action right here, and Mikal will utilize that split second, that split hesitation to just drive. But these two were able to establish more of a chemistry with Brunson being out. With Josh Hart and Mikal having the ability to move off ball and make passes, they gave defenses quite a few different looks and generated easier offense. Josh Hart got plenty of reps with Mikal to work out some nice chemistry. Look at these rescreens to give Bridges more, breathing room to get his shot off, more space. This is a good look right here. Again, with Brunson being out, we're seeing different scenarios. As Sharp is on Josh Hart, and he's going to end up blitzing Mikal Bridges. So we know Hart loves to make his cut. So how does Bridges react in a scenario like this? Here's another guard-to-guard screen with Josh Hart and Mikal Bridges. And Bridges now blitzed again by Sharp. So how does he react? And that's the dangers of blitzing when you know Josh Hart is the roll man. because not only he could finish at the hoop really well, he could also pass. But it is what it is. This was a nice little 15-game stretch with Brunson being out, where the Knicks were presented quite a few opportunities. We've seen Josh Hart take over the game against the Milwaukee Bucks with his playmaking ability. Same thing for Karl Anthony Towns against the Mavericks. He was playmaking out of the high post. And then Mikal Bridges took over a few times in both matchups against the Blazers. So we got a nice little sample size. Guys got to get a little chemistry with unusual partners. Mikal and Josh Hart, Mikal and also Cat in that pick and roll. And a lot of this will correlate into the playoffs. So it's going to be quite interesting. Guys are pretty much healthy right now. We're only waiting on Ariel Haporti to come back, and pretty much we're going to be good to go. So we'll see how it plays out. Until next time, you fellas stay safe. Peace.